All right, today on your whiteboards, I need for you to answer the following question. Please put these numbers in order from least to greatest. Then, once you have done that, go ahead and change those numbers into scientific notation and write down what you noticed. Now, what you should have noticed is that as the numbers got larger, the exponent also got larger. So today what we're going to be doing is comparing and ordering scientific notation, and we're going to be doing that by looking at the exponents first. So your goal for today is I can order and compare numbers in scientific notation in standard form by earning at least a 4 out of 5 on the exit ticket. Quickly, your answers to your exit tickets yesterday, most people did very well. I'm just going to highlight quickly the answers so that you have them. If there are any questions, I will happily answer them when I get back tomorrow. This one, the biggest answer, number 5, it was a positive exponent, so it needs to be D. So now it's time for notes. You should have a blue sheet on your desk. So when we are comparing and ordering numbers in scientific notation, the first thing you have to do is put all the numbers into scientific notation. Then you are going to compare the exponents first. If the exponents are the same, that's when you compare the numbers in the front or the decimals. So let's look at example number 1. With example number 1, the first thing I'm going to look at are the decimals. It says put it in order from least to greatest. So I have a 5 as an exponent, an 8 as an exponent, and a 4 as an exponent. So we need to figure out which one is the smallest, and that would be the 4, which is right here. So that's going to be first. Then we're going to put the 8.23 times 10 to the 5 second. And then finally, the one with the 8 is going to be third. So your answer should look like this. Now, for example, number 2. It wants you to put it in order from greatest to least. So I have 6 times 10 to the negative 4, 1.9 times 10 to the negative 5, and then 0.00062. Now, here's our first problem. It is not in scientific notation, so I need to put it in scientific notation. So my decimal is going to move from where it is to in between the 6 and the 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to get rid of the extra zeros, and because it's a decimal, I know the exponent is negative. So now I can go back and do like I did for the first one. I'm going to look at the exponents first. And we need it to be the greatest. And when the exponents are negative, or when you have negative numbers, the closer it is to 0, the bigger the number. So in this case, negative 4 is closest to 0. And I have 2. I have 6 times 10 to the negative 4 and 6.2 times 10 to the negative 4. So in this case, I need to look at the first number. So I have 6 and 6.2, and I need to go for the biggest. The biggest one is going to be 6.2, so that's going to be first. 6 times 10 to the 4th is going to be second, and then the negative 5th, the 1 to the negative 5 is going to be third. So your answer should look like this. Now we're going to go and do some practice problems. So, practice problem number 1. You need to look at the question says, which of the following numbers is the largest? So the first thing I look at are the exponents. When I look up here at the exponents, I have a 4 and 3 5s. I automatically know the 4 is not the largest, so I get rid of it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the first number of all the ones with the exponent of 5. And I have 5.6, 6.1, and 6.5. I'm then going to pick the biggest number, which is 6.5. So the answer is D. Looking at number 2, it says choose a symbol that makes the statement correct. I have 5.4 times 10 to the 4th, And 5.40 times 10 to the 4th. So the first thing I'm going to do again is look at the exponents. Here they're the same. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the number in front. In both cases, I have 5.4. One I have 5.4 and one I have 5.40. I can add an extra 0 here and make it equal. So in between, I need to have the equal sign, which is C. We're going to skip number 3 for a moment and come back to it. So let's look at number 4. They want to know which number is the smallest. So again, I still start with the same procedure. I'm going to check the exponents. So I have 6, -7, -5, and -7. Well, I know positive 6 is too big, and I know -5 is too big. So I'm stuck between the two -7s. So I'm going to look at my decimals, and I have to figure out which one is smaller, 1.25 or 8.9, and 1.25 is the smallest. So now let's go on and look at number 5. It says which set of numbers is ordered from least to greatest. So again, the first thing you're going to do is look at the exponents. In that case, answer choice A has 8, -6, -7. That is not ordered from greatest, or I'm sorry, that is not ordered from least to greatest. So A is not going to be correct. I'm now going to do the same thing for B, C, and D. So I check B, I have -2, +2, +1. That again is not least to greatest. So it cannot be B. So then I'm going to try and do the same thing for C. So let me change color. I have 6, 7, 7. Well, so far it looks right, but now I need to check the decimal. 8.9 is not less than 6.9, so it cannot be C, so it has to be D. Now we're going to go back and look at number 3. Number 3 says what number belongs in the blank. I have 3.2 times 10 to the 3rd is greater than blank, and that blank is greater than 2.2 times 10 squared. So the easiest way to do this is to change your scientific notation numbers into regular standard numbers. So we're going to rewrite 3.2. I'm going to make 3 loops to the left, add in zeros. So I'm going to have 3,200 is greater than blank. I'm going to do the same thing with 2.2. So I'm going to have 2.2, and I'm going to move it twice, and I have to add a 0. So I have 220. Now, really what that means is there are 2 statements. So you have 3,200 is greater than blank, and I also have blank is greater than 220. So now I need to figure out what numbers are going to satisfy both. So if I put 3,800 into both blanks, 3,200 is not greater than 38. That is not true. So I need to get rid of that. So that one doesn't work. So then I go on to the next one. I put 410. 3,200 is greater than 410. So that works. And if I put 410 here, 410 is greater than 220. So that works. So we're good there. So now I'm going to go and try the next one. 1,900. 3,200 is greater than 1,900, and then if I try it here, 1,900 is greater than 220. Both of them are true, so 1,900 is a winner. And now we're going to try the last one, 202. 3,200 is greater than 202, that works. And then if I put 202 down here, 202 is not greater than 220, so it does not work. So 202 is not an answer choice. Now, when you have finished these notes, you need to go on to Schoology and go to Unit 1. Today's date, today is the 18th. 9/18 is at the very bottom of the page. And click into the folder and click on the Nearpod link. That is your classwork for today. With about 10 minutes left in class, you need to stop and start working on your exit ticket. Remember to show your exit ticket work in your spiral notebook and write down the score you receive also in your spiral notebook. See you tomorrow.